This is groovy. Anyway, how you doing, everyone? Welcome back to the third episode of the my games tutorial. Basically, this is the guide. So I said last time that I would be here and looking for quality assurance, graphic studio, and sound studio. I am not there yet for this video because there's something else that I had to show actually, and that I didn't do yet. Engine. So sometimes you will have engine features as well as gameplay features to unlock. You will still always find them in the research department. The two locked things, this is for late game. Well, depends. Well, no, it can be for mid game, but it depends on how you're doing. And in normal, mid game, yeah, normally. Around when I say mid game, I talk late 80s to mid 90s. There you go. Then after mid game, I don't know if you can talk about late game yet, because late game is PS3, PS4 era, so from 2007 onwards, in my opinion. So you can talk about full mid game up until mid 2000s. But yeah, so you will have some engine features to unlock. These you can then go into develop engine in the development room. You will just do this. So go for develop new engine when you haven't done any, and you can always update one engine. That would always work, but I prefer to do multiple, but we'll talk about that when we get there. But let's do the engine that I will keep going with my naming system for an engine, even if you have the version set yourself if you want. I don't actually do that because I have my own naming scheme and I like it. So you have the four main normal features, and then you have the features that you have unlocked and that you can get in afterwards. As you can see, the features start with a higher point count already, even at no stars. But you have to keep in mind that you will be slower making it. So at no stars, it's actually pretty much even. You see, this one gives you 30 at full stars, but this one, no stars, is 40. Of course, when it's at 5 stars, it would give 60, and it's as fast as this one. But it does give more points also because it's not as fast as this one, because this one takes longer to actually develop than this one. In itself, this just gives more points. There you go. If you just want to know, this gives more points than this, even fully upgraded. But you do spend a little bit longer on it. Every time you will actually add an extra upgrade, you will spend more time on that upgrade compared to something of the same level but that is lower tier, you know. So, for example, in level 1, in sound, after speaker sound, you will have primitive mono sound, then you will have primitive stereo sound, and of course, stereo sound comes after mono sound, so it means that it's better. There you go. Basically, that's how it goes in this game. It depends, because stereo sound in 1977 sucks. IRL, it sucks, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, so I'm gonna go for a special genre that will normally give 3%. I'm gonna say, I think, I'm not sure. I think it gives 3% for the review result of the game. I am not sure. It may only give 1. It may only boost sales, but I do not know. There you go. And also, you can see that you can put your engine for sale, which you should always do. This is just an extra little bit of revenue, so I like to put it low on the sale price and the profit sharing, because you're actually going against another engine. Because you don't have to make an engine, because you can just buy them. Right here, you will have everything to buy, as you can see. Buy copy protection, anti-cheat software, licenses, IP trade. You can even buy a publisher-exclusive contract whenever they're asked. And yeah, even, I think, companies? No, companies are here. If you want to buy another company, you go here to publisher and developers. This is for late game, okay? This is for late game because you will not normally have the money as You may have the money if you're going marathon speed, but if you're not going normal, you will not have the money normally to buy any of them, except maybe middle. That's the only one. Maybe, because this one is the lowest one when it comes to its price. Goodwill, as you can see, 3 million. The one after is immediately at 8 million, which is a massive jump. Yeah, there you go. These are not for sale, by the way. You can see which ones are for sale normally because they have this icon right next to them. Like here, normally. There's their icon for something to sell, something on sale. There you go. This is very warm, by the way. Today is a warm day. Even if it rained, it's a very warm day. So I'm sorry if I'm sweating profusely. Whew. Anyway, so here it is for the engine. I have gone and moved about 5 months. As you can see, we're in month 3, basically, in 1977. As I talked about, at month 1, week 2 in 1977, we unlock 2 new consoles that you will see in a minute. Right here, I can show you. Of course, yes, creating your own engine gives you an achievement, which is why you should also always do it, because achievements in this game, by the way, are not only Steam achievements. They also give bonuses, as you can see right here. You can see all your achievements by going in here, in the management tab again. I think it's F6. F4, okay. And then you just go into achievements, and you can see a list of all 71 achievements in the game. And yeah, there you go. You can get a good amount of bonuses. The important ones are the PC and console games sold, and actually, also, another one, own consoles sold. However, there are also a few others that can be very good, which are work rate speed and training speed. Those 2 are also pretty damn good. And so there you go. Those are the ones you should focus on. However, they're not easy most of the time, so be careful. That training speed one is quite easy to get because it's just a developer legend. It's just sometimes you may get a pop-up of a certain employee to get that has some insane stats, like a 90% on one stat. And so there you go. So I just get a new feature here with the secrets that I'm going to wait for and then make my new game. The commission works are quite long now. And these are still very easy, of course. And they still help you to get to the next point when it comes to the stars, you know. I didn't talk about lead designer, by the way. It's not important, that's why I didn't talk about it, because to be fair, this is just something that the game sets automatically. All you need basically is to have a game designer on your programming team in order to have a bonus in the, I think it's in the gameplay points that you make. I don't know if it's for all points, but I do think it's at least for the gameplay points. There you go. So of course for this we're going to go here, copy the game concept, get fantasy up, because I'm going to use fantasy, so that's pretty good to have. And as you can see, since this is a contracted game, I don't need to use everything. I'm even going to take out the arcade joystick support because this is only at 20%. On the Apple One, I could also even take out the controller support because it's not necessary. And I have basically enough points just with this, plus the 4 here. However, I actually forgot something, because I have an engine now. Let's put it on. And now, the 2D line graphics are automatically added, because it's the best thing that you can have. Of course, it does cost more money, as you can see, 1,500 to 5,000. It will go down to 2,500, so keep that in mind. It won't be that much of a big cost increase. This same thing will go down to, yeah, 1,500, right? Yeah, 1,500. All right, there we go. We're just gonna do that game. We're not gonna wait for the bugs or anything. I'm just looking for new topics as well because, well, why not? What can I get? I guess fishing could work. I'm looking for a puzzle game right now. I know there are a lot, but God, I don't know which one to use really. That's the problem every time. You could use music. I know it works. I'm gonna use music. And so yeah, there you go. So this episode, not gonna be the episode where we look at all of that stuff, because unfortunately, if I want to look at this, I'm gonna have to get the second building, and getting the second building costs money. 1.8 million. I'm at 550k. We're doing good when it comes to our money, okay? We're not doing too bad. But yeah, we are missing a bit. However, let's make that game on music. Here we go. How am I gonna call it? How am I gonna call it? You know what? If you don't know the song, just go listen to it. Please do. Please do. Just go listen to that song. So, as you can see now, I have unlocked a third platform. The Apple one is still going to be the one with the highest units sold, so the highest base amount of fans that you can have from it, or of people getting it, basically. Then the Commander Pet, the Commodore Pet, if you don't know what that is, actually, the Commander Pete. Commodore Pet, which is a personal computer that was released in 1977. Yes, 77. I was almost going to say 76, but no. It was announced in 76, but released in 77. And it started... Wasn't it a 1004? So it was 10 lines? No, it was 20 lines. It couldn't be 10 lines. No, it was 2004, right? The first series, 2004. So it was 20 lines of text. Think about that. And then it was 4 kilobytes of RAM. Which is nothing. Even at the time, it was already kind of meh. Which, you know, great. Yeah, because, like, the Apple II released with 16, right? No, it actually released with 4. It's like the TRS-80. They actually all released with 4, and they upgraded with time to get to that point of 16 kilobytes, and then even more afterwards. Okay, we have unlocked checkpoints. Now, I can just add checkpoints in the gameplay features here. It will cost an extra 3,000. We'll create a few more bugs, but it does make the game better. And as you could see, maybe if you did care for that a bit, there was a 70 and 90 in the current estimated rating, which means that my game is at least going to be 80%. I already got one of those. It's right here. No, it's, where is it? Is it here? Yeah, it's here. 81% for restoration, which is an art game, by the way, because art is one that I know works. So there you go. I can go with Atari, which is a 5-star market strength, which is big. It's very big to have a 5-star market strength up. Note that all of them here are not unlocked because you have, well, you have Sony, you have Nintendo, you have Sega. So right here I only have Atari, which not great. But there you go. Let's up that market strength, and we are on another 81%. Good. 80% give a lot of money, okay? You can already see it in restoration. $422,000 for a single game is very good. Like, seriously, it's very good. Fruit Ninja is not doing too bad for itself as well, and then we'll see Sunflower how it does. Of course, there's also something that you have to keep in mind, and it's this thing up there. This is a trend, and so, of course, adventure game is the games that I should be making, but the thing is, I'm quite bad at making them. I tried one, as you can see here, Steins Gate, is a 69% in the review, which is not bad, it's actually nice, but it's not there yet, you know, 69%, not great, and it's not going to reach the heights of a B game for a genre that I know how to make correctly, like puzzle game or scale game. Good thing is, racing is unpopular, so I don't have to make any of those. We have unlocked a 4th platform, since this was probably our 15th game, I think. And so yeah, 15 game in a year and 5 months. If you want to look, you have all the games here. This is the stats, and you go to charts, and you go to best games of all time to look at who has the best game. And from the press, there's 190% right here. And other than that, it's all in the 80s. And I'm actually 16 and 18. Cool. Cool. And I am far from having the worst game. The worst game is a 9% right here. The gameplay is so bad, we just had no motivation to keep playing. Graphics? What graphics? The miserable sound effects simply sound like a bad dream. If you like loss of control, you'll love this game. Everyone else will be annoyed. The developer shows a creative way to ruin yourself with this game. 9%. Note that this isn't actually the worst text. If you go under 5%, I think you have worse. 10%. A must buy if you want to torture yourself. Yikes. 17%. Conclusion, there are many great games. This game is not one of them. This hurts. This really hurts. And then after that, it's 49 immediately. And after that, as you can see, it's immediately. It's not a bad game, but the numerous flaws don't allow for a higher rating. So, you know, here they're actually kinder, because the gameplay is very good. Fucking 87%. And 49% for that. Sure, why not? And then all of my contracted games are here. And then you have Escape, which is an arcade game. You can see it from this and also from the color. Anyway, yeah. I like stats, so I like looking at all of this. It's not something that you have to look at, but there you go. If you look at also the all-time charts, Restoration is actually 13th in the best-selling games of all time. Cool. Alright. Now, let's move on and make another, I guess. I mean, is it month 5 or month 6? I don't remember when we get RPGs, but I know that they are soon. Very soon. Anyway, I should make this. Why? Even if we have 5 stars on the main genre, not all of the gameplay features are full. So, we're gonna do this right now. Boom, boom. Keyboard support off? No, it's on the upper one, so. Alright, and let's see, is it now? It is now. We have RPG, and also, as you can see here, new game developer legend. Michael Enzel, game designer. So, when they show you this means that you have a legend. And legends, as I said, have an insane stat. Just one of them. They have one insane stat. Of course, you can train them for the other ones. No worries. But as you can see, this has a salary of $13,000, though, every month. Why? Well, it's because star designers / star people have an extra perk, which is this one right here. This creates hype. When you're working on a game, you have the ability to create hype on that character. You can only go up to 50 because before you could actually go to 100, but yeah, I wasn't done. But I'm gonna take this and immediately dismiss him as it gives the achievement. So, no need to take him. No need to add an extra 15k to your spendings. But we now have my big genre, the RPG. And so we will take it. It's 300 points, so it will take a bit of time to get there first. So, yeah. We're going to continue working on a contracted game. We're going to go for this one since this is not full yet. Still, this one is not full as well, but it's okay. And I saw that it was for a keyboard, so we're going to take those 2 off and take these 2 in, and we're good. Things are going to move quite fast, you know. We're schmovin'. And since one of our games has made it to 50,000 sales, we have unlocked spin-off. Since Restoration reached that number. Also, Sunflower selling pretty well. 4 weeks and at almost 12,000. Not bad at all. Taking that game away. 67%. Good. Good enough. I mean, we don't really care too much. Skill game is not even done, so I'm going to have to add that. Let's do it. Take everything away just to see what do I need. It's a keyboard support, so it's gonna add that automatically, and now we can do it. And so 2D line graphics now should be at 5 stars, which is great because that's gonna be an extra 4 points given to me, so that's always nice. And then I have to show you something else here. I'm gonna show you group management. So if you go into employees, you have this thing here, group management. Actually, no, wait, I'm going to show you something else first. I'm going to show you employee settings, because I didn't do that last time. So when you actually start in the game, your employee settings are going to be like this. So what does this mean? This means that motivation will recharge at 40%. What does that mean? It's the time at when you allow your employees to go on a break. Whenever they drop to 40% of their total speed. So there we go. This is not great. 40% is really low. I like to not put it at 80. I don't like putting it full, but I like putting it almost full as I go at 75%, which means that whenever they lose 25% of their total speed, they will then just go to break. And I like putting on many breaks just because it doesn't actually do too much. When you have a high number of employees, you won't feel it. You won't feel that you have a drop in speed. Crunch time is when you do not allow any breaks. So people even don't get in any crunch time. Okay? Often they don't get in any crunch time. I don't like to do that. I put it at 95. Just for the last 5%, everyone goes in. You know, 5% isn't going to be long. So it's going to be like what? It's going to be a day. So then after that day, just go on a break. It's fine. If you have to take a break, just wait a day and then go on a break. Yes, breaks, by the way, in this game can last for a month. Anyway, you can also exert a little pressure, which is going to make, I think, the game better, but it's going to take longer. So, your choice, really. I don't do this, but I know of many people that do because it actually adds more points. It's just that sometimes you do feel the difference when it comes to the speed on this. So, your choice. I feel like this, you don't really feel it. Because this doesn't affect everyone at the same time, you know? This does. So there you go. And now let's show you group management. So group management is where you can organize your employees that are in the same room or same skill set into groups. You can rename those groups, and there are 25 groups, so you have a lot of space to do that. So group 1 for me, I'm gonna rename it. It's always game devs. There you go. Group 1 is always game devs. Group 2 is game designers. Oh, it's not actually going in. Sorry. Game designers. That's my group 2. Group 3 is my game testers. Group 4 is my graphic designers. 5 sound artists. And then 8 is researchers. And these are all the ones we have to do for today. I mean, to be fair, I didn't even have to do any of these, but... So game devs, I like to do it from rooms. So all the ones that are in the game development room, they're gonna get in that group. There you go. And so why do you do groups? So that you can select everyone in a room immediately. That's why I do that. There you go. And then for researchers, just add them in same way. Alright, we also now have the Apple II. The Apple II is the first PC in the game to be a level 2. Technology level 2. This will be explained later, but technology level is something that creates more points, but will also make it so that it's much more complex. And also, internet ready. This isn't something that you have to care about for now as well, and it's something that will matter mid-90s to early 2000s. So yeah, not for the Apple II basically, because the Apple II stays up until 1993, I think, so it's not that great. We could make another contract game again. I feel we can, because we have enough time. So let's do that. Boom, boom. Alright, no need for more. And we're good. Gucci on that game. It should be done basically around the same time as the RPG. Oh, it's exactly at the same time. Perfect. And so now we work on an RPG because they're the thing I know how to do the most. However, we don't have a topic. We don't have the topic that I want. Going all the way down to P and going to pirates. Haha. Do you know why? Well, maybe you do if you've watched the other parts of my series. I'm going to take subtopic as well, but I'm going to add that for the next game. But you may know it because I'm a One Piece fan. There you go. One Piece Romance Dawn, ladies and gentlemen. Because this is going to be the big series. Every time I make this, it's always the same thing. Every time. I always do this. Also, yes, you could see that I don't have to add the engine every time because it keeps it in mind. Which, you know, good quality of life things like this are in this game. And it just makes it very enjoyable to play every time. This game is so enjoyable to play. Every time I come back to it, it's just really nice. And it's 267, and this part, I know it. I don't have to fucking look at it. I know about it. Yeah, I just looked just to confirm, but I was right. Alright, and of course, it's a known game. I am putting everything into it. And so, since this is my big genre, the genre that I am comfortable with, we are getting an extra 3%, sorry, in the review results. Good thing is, we also have that large booth here. So, we're going to put in the game to give us some hype. We're going to put in Sunflower to give him some hype. And probably Frogger. No, it's almost full, so we don't have to. I'm going to do a restoration. It's still selling. It's actually selling better than Steins Gate, so, you know, we're going to do that. And there you go. 3 games that added onto that. And as you can see, Sunflower down goes to... Actually, I don't think that was added yet. Yeah, there you go. Now it is. 79 for Restoration, 86 for Sunflower. Very nice. And of course, we got a bunch of fans. We're now at 6,000. So that's very nice. And so, Romance Dawn is done, but we need to wait for the bugs. Okay. And as you can see, look at my graphics points. Over 100. That's very nice. That is a very nice amount of graphics points. Alright, and of course we're going with Atari. And it is a 81%. If it wasn't my main genre, that would have been a 78. Think about that. This game is so good that I fear many bad clones will appear in the coming years. Ooh. Ooh. Wait. I mean, can you say that for anime, for manga, as well for One Piece? I don't think you can. Because, like, it wasn't the first shonen, and it's not going to be the last. It was never going to be the last as well, so, you know. I don't know if you can say that. Okay. Of course, now, that game gives us 2,300 in the first week. And it's already at 100 in the hype as well. Very nice. I'm going to add that guy. I'm going to add these 3, actually. Look at those stats. 42, 41, and 39. One thing that I didn't talk about is the fact that I actually got a half-star rating. So, we're now not an unknown company. We're now a garage company. So, that means that we are basically below indie. You know. Of course, a garage company would never have that many people working in it. It's just, you know... It's just to say. So, if I wanted to show you a little bit more, I could just go in the bank and get this. Okay, don't do what I do. This is just to show you guys, okay? I'm going to buy the second building, but to do that, I'm going to need at least $1 million. And as you can see in the bank, I can get a credit limit of 2,200,000. But it adds monthly interest every time you add more money onto it. So 12,500 a month, it's okay. You can take a lot more, to be honest. That's a legendary guy, okay? You have to think about it that way. This is a legendary employee that you would get. It's between 12 and 15,000 when you get any of those. So there you go. I could add another extra 250 just to show you the first building, which I am going to do. So we unlock the second building. And I go to miscellaneous to immediately get quality assurance, just to show you that building as well. Alright. We have a lot of commission works, but you can see that the workload is very intense. So I won't do any of these. Instead, I'm going to do a second RPG. Because once again, for RPGs, the limit for boredom isn't counted. It says so when you actually hover over the genre when it's your main one. Your special genre is excluded from this. If you use the same genre too often, your fans will get bored, but your special genre is excluded from this. Keep that in mind every time. And so this is why you actually go for a early game special genre whenever you're playing in Legendary, you know? Because, my word, it becomes very complicated normally, so yeah. You can try and still go with a late game thing. It would still work, but you're gonna struggle. That's the thing. Alright, name of this game, because we're going with fantasy, and of course with Final Fantasy being a thing, we're gonna go with First Fantasy. Yeah, I still love those jokes. Like, guys, I love going for First Fantasy 2, First Fantasy 3. Like, is it the first or is it the third? No, it's First Fantasy 3. It's not the same. Alright. I'm gonna keep that game tester just to show you afterwards. Those guys are very expensive. Yeah, those are way too expensive. 40 in graphic design is one that I could keep, but no. So, getting more room for a second building like this is always going to be good. You know, you will end up using the whole complex, okay? If you're playing it correctly, you will end up using the whole complex. You will have doublons of rooms, okay? For example, you'll have doublons of quality assurance, development, research, no, not research, but console development not as well, but development, quality assurance, graphics studio, and sound studio, plus motion capture studio. All of those, normally you will have 2 of them if you're working correctly on the game. That's my opinion. Same thing, you will have multiple production and stock rooms, plus multiple training rooms. You will only need 1 server room normally. Multiple lounges and toilets, but I don't even count those. Alright, and here is the TRS-80, if you want its actual name. It's the TRS-80, which is the Radio Shack. The computer from Radio Shack. So there, that's a little bit of a trivia for you. Okay, and so we have now unlocked quality assurance. The building for quality assurance. Now, how do you use it? Well, I'm going to place it down. This is going to require a little bit of space, so I'm going with a room design like this. And if you just do this, by the way, you will lose up on a person. You will lose on a workplace. What you should do is this. Add these 4 extra bits, because it adds an extra workplace. It might sound dumb, but this is unused space anyway, so why wouldn't you? And there you go. So the automatic thing doesn't put 9, but if you want to do it better, just do it better. I'm not going to bother right now, but I will for the next episode. You will see that the room will be filled correctly. All right, we have multiple game testers, and game testers are exactly the thing you want in this room. And as I showed before, I'm going to go here, do this, and put the game testers in their group. And there you go. So we have 2 game testers for this room. What can this room do? It has a lot of things that it can do. It can improve the gameplay. So improving gameplay will add extra points to the game itself that you are making at the cost of some money. So these guys are going to work on making me more gameplay points. So the blue points. As well, these guys can polish a game, which is going to slowly increase the points of gameplay. This thing is not something that you're really going to want when you're making the game. You're not going to have someone like this. You're going to normally have them on improved gameplay. And then you will have them on bug fixing. because this makes you win a lot of time. Early, mid, or late game. This is a lot of time saved. And then you can also, with this room, create some game reports. Game reports are very important if you do not know your perfect settings. If you know them, they're less important. And of course, there's my sheet for this. But yes, this is where you can get your settings perfectly done. I'm gonna choose one of my own games, so let's go for Frogger. And so now it's going to create a game report, and you will see that it's gonna be all green normally. Normally, if they didn't change them, normally it should be all green. Okay, and this time, look at that. We even have Nintendo that wants our game. So we will do that. Because Nintendo is 100% in the market strength. And this game is my best game yet with an 84%. Very nice. Very nice. And so now we're working on making that game report. That game report. And of course our money is still doing quite well. So I'm going to actually repay a little bit of that debt that we have. It's not a debt, it's a credit. And so now that the game report is done, you can go and use the view game reports to look at the ones that you've done. And look at that, everything is green. I didn't fuck up. I didn't. We're good. And so there you go. This is all the usage for game for the game testers for this room, the quality assurance. What I like to do when I have a quality assurance is add 2 quality assurance rooms in this disposition at the beginning, and then I change them a little bit. But so add 2 of those, make them both at overcrowding at 9. And why would that be? Because this is the only room that requires 2 skill sets other than the development room. The development room requires 4, by the way. It requires the tech, programming, it requires game dev, it requires game design, it requires graphic design, and it requires sound points as well. These guys are the most important, which is why your guy has to be good in all 4 categories, which is why you want him to be all-rounder. See, this is why you have that perk, to add an extra 10 points, because you want that. Yep, there you go. And so, with that, now, I think we're good for today. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I was a lot more animated into it, and, you know. Again, if you want the cheat sheet that I have made for the game, you can always ask it in the comments, and I will respond to you with a link for that sheet. A lot of people have it nowadays. I can see that there are at least 4 people that were on it at the same time now, so thank you all for that. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.